Hello.
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 Hello. The show.
I don't want to be a product of my environment. I want my environment to be a product of me.
Prestige Living Podcast. So with that, who do you want to be?
Hello, welcome to Prestige Living, your audio feed that delivers the successes and stories of business owners here in Orange County. I'm your host, Jay O'Brien, here with your co-hosts, Jordan Wilson.
Hello.
And Kane German.
Hello.
Today, our guest comes from the local fitness community, specifically in the spin world. His name is Matt Bourne and owns, operates, and instructs at Grit Cycle right here in Costa Mesa. I've personally experienced the genius of grit, and we're very excited to have him here with us today. So without further ado, I give you Matt Bourne. Matt, welcome to the show, man. Hello, the show. So let's start from the beginning. Grit Cycle. I went there, I think, maybe a year and a half ago. When did you guys start?
You haven't been back?
No, dude, I don't do that.
He doesn't speak highly of that place.
I don't do the spin thing personally.
That's why he's wearing that big
I
sweater.
will get into that in a minute because I want to talk about that. But when did it start?
August 2013 is when we opened. Started probably about 8 months before that. Took us some time to find the right location. We went through probably 3 or 4 negotiations for locations, and it came back. We actually were in negotiations, and the landlord didn't want to lease our location right now to us at first. He didn't want. They already remodeled the whole building, remodeled the inside for a dentist, doctor's office. Like
oh,
that.
Really?
Yeah, the building was actually, there's 6 small rooms already built out. So they already spent all the money to build everything out, hoping somebody would move in there to do that. And then he came back to us after probably 4 months.
So you wanted to be in that pocket of Costa Mesa then?
We wanted to be on 17th Street or somewhere close because obviously there's already a good following on 17th Street in Costa Mesa. And most of us, say 4 of us, actually taught at a studio right down the street from Grit.
Okay.
So it made it easier for us to get everything going and get the following right from the beginning. Like we were lucky that we didn't have that time when we opened that we're trying to pull people in because we had enough people following us that we had a lot of anticipation. There was a lot of people waiting for us to open. So the first month we were already just like flying, filling classes, and it was something that was new to Orange County. Like the style of spin that we do it's in LA, it's in New York, but it wasn't really here in Orange County yet. So we got the head start, the jump start on that, and people just loved it.
So are you able to say what studio you worked at?
Yeah, I worked at Yaz.
Yaz. Okay, so
which is a yoga and a spin studio right down the street on 17th Street.
Got it. Okay, so you were an instructor, and then I've noticed this. People that go in there like members, they really follow the instructor. So even if it's like, I don't want to say the same class, but same curriculum-esque. It's like 1 hour of spinning to a certain type of music, whatever, certain environment. Like I know people who will go in, and if it's like a sub or they'll just walk out. Like they straight up won't even work out because it's not the right instructor.
I think that happens in like all forms of fitness.
Yeah.
Like not just spin, but once you really get to like somebody and somebody's personality, like I feel like a lot of people that work out are type A people. Yeah. Like they don't like change. So like not necessarily like the way the workout is, but they like going at the same time with the same instructor.
Regiment.
Yeah. Right. So they feel there's that comfort, especially for somebody that's new in something. If you have a friend that goes, or if you have an instructor that it makes it more comfortable for the whole process.
Yeah, so it started in August 2013. You opened the doors. Like, was this the first business you've ever started?
No, I actually own a Mercedes junkyard.
Oh, let's talk about that.
Yeah. Not a lot of people know that about me. Actually, it's a little.
Describe that for a minute.
So out of college, I went to Drake University in Iowa, and as soon as I was done, I was like, I need to get out of Iowa as fast as I can. And I was born in California. My dad lives here. My brother lives here. So it was kind of I was a soccer player in college. After college, I played for a couple years, and like once you stop doing something like that, you kind of feel lost. So it was an easy choice. I gave my sister my car, packed up a couple suitcases. I lived in Dana Point on my brother's couch for 6 months. my uncle was selling Mercedes parts, and I was like, I was working construction because my dad's a contractor, and so are my brothers. So I was just trying to find what I wanted to do, and I sat down with him one day on eBay, and we started putting some stuff on eBay, and all of a sudden, like, $500 turned into $1,000 to $5,000 a month, and then we're like, oh, this could be something real. So we found a location, moved up to Long Beach, had a small little yard, started selling parts, and now I'm in Orange, right next to the Honda Center. Got like a half acre, 6 employees, and it's a straight up junkyard.
Wow.
Which is weird. Just like, I would never picture myself doing that. It's like, I like cars, but it was just something that I found that
like a niche opportunity.
Yeah, I could make money and do it, and it was fun at the time. It's still all right, but.
So would you say with Grit and with the Mercedes junkyard business, like, what percentage makes up what percentage of your income?
Grit's most of it now.
Okay.
It used to be, SoCal, it's called SoCal Mercedes Parts. It was almost all of my income at first, and that's what helped me pay to start Grit also. So
earlier you mentioned, the style that you do at Grit is similar to LA and New York. Can you speak to that a little bit? Like, what's the difference between the style of spin at your place versus, the one down the street?
When we taught at Yaz, he taught the same sequence every class. So there's 4 basic moves, and you did it in the same order. So really the only freedom you have as an instructor is your music and your personality.
Got it.
So you can't, like, at Grit, we design our own classes. Everything's choreographed to the music. So the class is based on the beat of the music. So obviously slow, fast.
You're going to have to stop tapping on the table, man.
Sorry.
It's blowing my eardrums out.
I can't even hear it. But so it gives a lot of freedom. It's choreographed to the music. So it's not like you just make a playlist and go in and teach it. It's something that actually takes time to build your playlist, like build the moves, and trying to do it in a safe environment. Like, there's a lot of people that hate on the way we teach spin because it's not the way you would ride a bike outside. It's not, traditional. There's actual spinning certifications, and it's all based on cadence and resistance, like in time. Well, what we do is we teach the music and the beat instead and use the movement on that. And, like, we do push-ups on the bike, crunches, stuff like that, in which traditional people will be like, well, you wouldn't go out and do push-ups on your bike when you ride outside, so why should you do it inside?
Yeah, this is spin, not cycling.
Go ahead and do it. Yeah, if you're concerned about that, then why are you even in that class?
Exactly.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Everybody has their own thing. You might want to go do CrossFit. Somebody might hate CrossFit. Like, there's one thing in Costa Mesa, in Orange County, especially, there's so many people that want to work out.
Right.
They're going to find you if you're good.
I was going to say, I was watching some of the YouTube videos before you came in today, and that word came to me, like, choreography. Like, it looked like there's orchestrated, and
it's a lot, and it takes time. And our instructors are really, really good. Like, we're lucky that we get a lot of people that want to teach for us, and we get to handpick who teaches for us. So it's been really, really good for that. Like, Soul Cycle's obviously the biggest one around, and they pump out instructors. You have to move to New York and go through their teacher training, and they're opening locations everywhere. We're still obviously with one location. We get to pick the best of what we want, and it's like, not always, the instructor can't always be the best, but it has to fit into our scheme and what we built, because we're very community oriented, and like, attitude's a big thing with an instructor.
In the beginning, back in 2013, how long did it take you to get the business into that, like, well-oiled machine? Like, how long was your learning curve, and where did you pull, like, influences from? Like, okay, we like this New York style, like you said, or whatever.
We're still learning every day. We're working on trying to find another location now.
Oh, that's exciting.
And so we've been looking around. The hardest thing is, like, we got spoiled with our location now because we're a standalone building. It's so nice. We got a big patio. We have parking. Like, obviously in Orange County, to find parking for 50 people to take a class is almost impossible without.
Especially right there on 17th Street.
Exactly. So we got, like, it was a blessing that we found that place, and they came back to us. They're, like, willing to actually lease it to us. But we learn every day. We have an operations manager, Danny, who also teaches for us, and she's amazing. Like, it's made it easy. Marissa's my business partner, and we basically leave it all to Danny. We get to like reap the benefits of her hard work every day.
Yeah,
and she's in control of everything, and she just comes to us with questions, and she takes control and handles everything. And like I said, it's a learning process every single day. Like, we'll make mistakes, fix them. Like, there's a lot of little things like packages and pricing and time slots and all that kind of stuff, putting the right instructor in the right time slot, because some people aren't made to teach early in the morning.
Right.
Some people don't have the energy to teach the night class, because those people were stuck in work all day and all they want to do is get out and like let out all their energy. So you have to have somebody that'll match your intensity and your attitude and your energy level.
In the very beginning, how long did it take for you and your business partner to kind of trust your operations manager and like relinquish that power?
Not very long, because she did so much before we opened.
Okay.
She's been, and like we've all done it together, though. Like, it's nothing that we meet every Monday, the three of us, and we go over everything that happened the week before, what we can do better. And it's been a process, because none of us owned a fitness studio.
Right.
And there's a reason we left the previous studio.
What was that reason?
That we just weren't happy there. Like,
and it's not your own thing.
Yeah, and especially owning a business before, having somebody tell me what I had to do and see it not be successful. And, I was successful there, so were the other instructors. But as a business, the owners lived in LA, their time was in LA, and we never saw them.
So
it's hard to run a business when people don't ever see you.
Right.
And I think that's been a major part of what Marisa and we want to make sure people see us there.
And you guys are both instructors, right?
Yeah, all three. Danny instructs too. She's probably one of the best instructors in Orange County.
How big is your crew?
We have 15 instructors. We have 16 front desk girls. We have somebody that does retail, somebody that does all of our graphic design, and then we have somebody that does our social media.
Damn.
That's a big crew.
So
man.
it's a crew, and that's what Danny controls all of that. It's amazing. So, I don't have to go to bed at night worrying about who's going to be there tomorrow, what's going to happen, where the instructors are, because they all go through Danny. And Danny's one of those person that she's the friendliest person and that knows everybody, but if somebody crosses her path, she's going to put her foot down and she's going to let her know that,
that's who you need.
This is my job, and I'm taking this seriously. I'm your friend.
Right.
And I want to be there for you, and I'm going to help you. But if you slip up, I'm going to be the one that's going to tell you need to clean your shit up and get going.
Right. Where do you guys want to expand?
We've been looking north and south. We're really looking south mainly. We've had a couple places fall through so far. We're looking at Aliso Viejo, Laguna Niguel, Dana Point, all in there. We were looking at a couple places in Huntington Beach right now also. So
as long as you find the location, like, you're ready to go?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So you're there.
Yeah, we've done our operations manual, and that's what we've had opportunities to move. We've had opportunities to go other places out of state and all that. We have a lot of people that want to help us open other places, but right now I think for us, our second location is going to be our key one, to see how fast we can open it, staff it, train, and we want to be able to have it close enough that we could all be part of that. And even our instructors, like, not having to train a whole new set of instructors, we can have our instructors teach at both locations. Make sure our plan's working properly,
and have the veterans kind of teach the new guys.
Then we can train people, and people will go.
So when you first started Grit in 2013 versus now, what were some of the things that maybe were different from the original vision? I know, like, a lot of times when you start a business or like a band or anything like that, you have this vision like, we're going to be like this, and then you fast forward 6 months or a year, like, oh wait, we're not like that at all. We're actually it naturally went this way instead.
A lot of our vision at first, it was Grit Fitness Centers. It wasn't Grit Cycles. So we wanted to be able to facilitate other people to do other things. So whether it's like a Grit CrossFit, Grit, we intended on having a yoga studio with us. And we opened Grit Yoga actually 8 months after we opened Grit Cycle, and ended up selling it because we wanted to go our direction with Grit. So, like, realized that our niche was cycling, not yoga. And we were lucky enough to have an amazing partner in the yoga studio that he wanted to take it and
that's cool.
And go with it. Yeah.
Well,
it's like
cool.
Ecom Yoga. It's down on PCH. It's an amazing studio.
What's it called?
With us, Ecom.
Oh.
You see, there's a huge sign on PCH.
I was going to say,
yeah.
So, where'd you get the name Grit? Why Grit?
My business partner, I don't know if you know, is Marisa Wayne.
I don't.
Might know her dad, John Wayne.
Oh, John Wayne.
Rings a bell.
Me and John. Yeah, we go way back.
So this is going to go to the movie.
So yeah, it was kind of like we didn't want to use that as our whole thing, but there's a little bit of nuances. The shape of our logo is actually an eye patch because John Wayne wore an eye patch in True Grit, and so it kind of all worked together. It was one of those. We kept talking about it and going back in different names, and it always came back to that. There's Maurice's family always has there's so much with their family, and with the John Wayne name, it's always hard to step. Nobody wants to use John Wayne as their way to try to sell it, so we wanted to have that connection, obviously with Orange County, with John Wayne being here, Marisa living here and carrying on that, but there's a lot of responsibility for us with that also.
All the branding and all the marketing is very cohesive. It looks very good.
Thank you.
Even physically, when you're at the studio, from the front patio, how that all looks going into it, it's all very cohesive. It looks very, very good.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Any major fails or anything that you can speak of to the business owner who's aspiring to do something similar?
We've been lucky that we haven't had anything major. There's always little things. I don't know if you guys heard just in the past with Wildfire was it's like a membership group. You pay one flat fee, and then there's people that become members of Wildfire. They can go to all the studios that are members.
A certain amount of times per month or something, right?
But Wildfire is no longer Wildfire because they're bankrupt because they didn't put those restrictions.
Oh, really?
Okay. So there's a lot of local studios that got a little bit burnt. We were lucky that we didn't go with them.
Was that a pun?
Yeah.
Oh damn!
Hey, no joke. When you said Wildfire, I thought we were talking about the Cougar Bar.
Yeah.
And then I remembered it was Foxfire.
It's Foxfire. Yeah.
I've never been there. I heard about it though.
Oh, you heard about it?
That one time.
Okay, so go on.
Where am I?
You are talking about Wildfire.
So
and bankruptcy.
I just see that as a mistake that we missed. Usually when things are too good to be true, they're too good to be true. They were offering a lot to all the studios here because they wanted people to come on board and they wanted to sell it, and they overpromised and underproduced. There was no way that they could sell what they wanted to sell and make money and be able to pay all the studios.
So right now, how's new member acquisition like? I would imagine that you've got one studio, right? So if that thing's sold out every day and people, like you said earlier, that everyone's got a regular routine, pretty soon you can't get new members in, right?
Yeah, that's a hard thing. I rarely have new members in my class. We have 3 or 4 instructors that are really good and really popular. So I don't know if you've heard this around town, but at 4:30 on Sunday, Costa Mesa stops now to sign up for grit classes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, because that's when the schedule's released.
That's when the schedule goes live for the next week. So everybody freaks out, stops. It's funny because we get posts of people on the freeway pulling over on the freeway to book their classes.
Damn, that's awesome.
Posts of people with 3 computers so they can get 3 classes at the same time.
But I like that. I like that where you have to sign up every week. That's a good idea because it gives other people who might be
It makes it a commodity. It makes it something that you want to do and you have to do.
Like trying to get tickets to a sweet Nickelback concert.
That's exactly what it's like.
Well, that's the reason I can't go there. I tried, but
Jay's already.
I didn't know it was 4:30.
Jay's already asleep by 4:30 on Sunday, getting ready for Monday.
I'm just at Marie Callender's trying to enjoy an early bird special, and everyone's stopping on the freeway. So not too much new member acquisition. What is it that you're looking for right now?
We still get new members, but we've been, like I said, we're lucky that we had such a following from the beginning. I think right now, I looked up earlier for the year, we're at 88% capacity. That's with all classes.
Okay. So you just averaged it out over the whole...
Yeah, over all the classes, which is fairly high, especially when we have 8 classes a day.
Yeah.
So the new location probably should have been up by now.
Okay,
and we have people coming from all over. We have people that drive from Coto de Caza 3 times a week to come take classes at Grit. And
so that's kind of like the critical next step is to have another place to cannibalize it a little bit.
We'll take some people away from this location, but it's not that we don't have enough people to fill those spots, which is a nice problem, I guess, awesome. If it's a problem.
What time do your classes start, and what time does the last one end?
We start during the week, 5:45 in the morning. I teach Fridays at 5:45 a.m. Saturdays I teach at 6:45 a.m. So Saturday and Sunday we start at 6:45. The last class right now is 6:45 during the week, and then we do a noon on Saturday and a 10:30 on Sunday.
10:30 a.m.
Yeah.
Okay.
We only do mornings on the weekend. We found that in Costa Mesa.
Yeah.
People like being at the beach and going to do stuff on the weekends
Yeah.
instead of spend in the afternoon on Saturday or Sunday.
Jay had asked you about like maybe a fail that you ran into, but maybe not necessarily a fail, but what were some things that you weren't anticipating having to deal with running your own place? Like, oh shit, I had no idea we had to, deal with this or deal with that.
Parking, police.
What do you mean,
neighbors?
Police?
Oh yeah,
Because
Neighbors,
we're
city
loud.
limits.
We're loud.
Yeah.
It's really
Especially
loud,
early in
and
the
we're
morning.
right in the middle of a residential area. So, like our first month was a little sketchy. We had to do a little bit of extra soundproofing. We did like $60,000 worth of soundproofing before we opened, and we still had spots that needed to be fixed once we opened.
Wow.
So 545 was a little iffy at first. We weren't sure if we were going to be able to keep it, and I think some of the neighbors got used to it. Some of the neighbors probably moved away. But it was a fine line because you want to, we're trying to be friendly and we don't want to disrupt anybody, but we also have 545 is one of our busiest classes. It's sold out every day of the week almost.
Yeah, because you got the type A's who come in, knock it out before work.
You got 55 people that really want to be there, but you have one person next door that really hates that you guys are there.
Do you think that it's the class itself that's super loud that they're hearing, or like people parking, getting out of their cars?
I think
all
that's
that?
probably a little bit of it, both the doors
Yeah.
and stuff like that. I know there's Cabrillo Street's right behind us, and some of the neighbors were getting mad because parking spaces were missing, and it's like, even though it's a street, it's public parking. They
Right.
figure that spot in front of my house is my spot. You can't park there.
Yeah.
And that's what there was actually a
No,
funny.
you're not gonna like this.
Yeah, there was actually a
Sorry,
funny
guys.
little. I think it was like the second month. Somebody from the houses came out with their cat litter box and dumped it all over 4 cars that were parked out in front of the
They handled that really well.
Hey, I just vandalized your car, and here's where I live.
Yeah, exactly.
exactly.
You could see somebody like peeking through
Yeah.
the window, and the cops are outside.
I wish cat people aren't crazy people,
Yeah. Reinforcing that.
But what in terms of like scaling and expanding? I mean, obviously you're opening a new location, but what if you wanted to get? What other ways can you expand? I mean, revenue and whatnot. Than other just adding bikes. So you have other services like nutrition and weight loss / performance plans and all that.
Yeah,
stuff?
we don't do a lot of like nutrition, weight loss stuff. I think for more of us, it's a social workout. It's a place for people to come with their friends to work out, to sweat for 45 minutes, to not have to worry about what's going on there, what the other people are doing. It's almost like a 45-minute checkout that you just you get to be in the dark with the lights, the loud music, and it's just a way for people to get away. I don't think most of the people there aren't there just to like lose weight or like get big or like train for something. They're there to be there and be a part of something a little bit bigger than just a workout.
Yeah, so I was going to say the time I'd gone there was for, I believe it was a charity ride, and you had taught the class, and I remember the way it was described. You're like, so the people who haven't been here before, you're basically dancing on a bike. Like you're just the way you're pedaling and whatnot is just going to the tempo and the beat of the music. That was nice because it just kind of brought it back a little bit. It wasn't so competitive or anything. You were actually able to kind of get lost in it a little bit and just not feel like you're there just working your ass off for 45 minutes, but you are kind of, like the choreographed stuff and like the lighting, it's dark, there's music playing. I mean, it's got a different vibe to the whole thing.
Yeah, when you first come in, it's a little overwhelming. Like obviously 55 people in a small room, and most everybody comes on a regular basis, so they know what to do and know how to do it. So like the new person's kind of like deer in the headlights, kind of look like,
if it's a little intimidating.
What
I need
are
to buy
these
a
people
vowels.
doing?
Especially with the clips and like getting into the bike, and then I don't know if you've ever done a spin class before, but I'm looking at Jordan now, not the instructor.
No, and I'm shaking my head.
But like, it's weird, and your ass is so sore afterward for like a week.
Oh, bro,
Dude, it is crazy. But yeah, I know what you mean. Like new people come in, they're not going to know what the hell to do. And that's
but then the second time, the third time, and then once you actually start to get it and you feel it, like people walk out of there like amazed. And I've said from the beginning, like we've always had our meetings, and I was like, if you can get people in the door, people are going to stay. Like it's one of those experiences that the hardest part of growing the business is just getting people there.
Right,
because
just the first time.
Grit has become because of our community. It's like it's so welcoming. It's like our front desk girls are amazing. Like they make everybody feel like it's their first time. They're welcome. Help you set up, get you water, do all this stuff, and it's not. You go to some place and it's almost intimidating just to walk in the door. You're like, holy shit, look at that person, like that gigantic guy right there, like all that kind of stuff. But I think the patio, the way the building looks, it's very welcoming, and I think it's changed for a lot of people, and the community's so big now. Like there's so many Grit people that we were just talking in our meeting today. It's like we see Grit stickers all over the place now, and it's like that just happened from nothing.
That's so awesome.
And then it was obviously you want to make money in a business, but from the beginning it was all about charity and our community. Like that's what we wanted. Like we knew the money would come with that. And if people feel welcome and people want to come, they're going to tell their friends to come. And then they're going to tell their friends to come. And then it just went like wildfire. It was crazy.
So go ahead, Kane.
I was going to say, you guys just started making profit from the get-go?
Right from the beginning.
That's awesome.
It was really unbelievable. I don't even get how it happens. Like, I'm a small town kid. I grew up in Iowa. My high school had 400 people in it.
That's it?
Like, and now we're in the middle of everything. And it's like, it's crazy to think how many people give what they give. Like I said, charity was a big part of what we do. The last 2 years, we made over $200,000 in one charity event for the John Wayne Cancer Foundation. And that's more money than my sister makes in 5 years.
Yeah.
In Iowa. That amount of money just is unbelievable to me. But like what I found out in Newport Beach and just like Southern California in general, that if you ask for it, you'll get it. It's one of those things. My dad used to tell me that, like selling things when I was little, you never know unless you ask.
Yeah.
Right. But if you ask people to be generous, to give money for charity, for finding a cure for cancer, for Toys for Tots, whatever charity we're doing, they usually give it.
Yeah, there's a lot of truth to that. And besides that, people have the buy-in because they see what you're doing. Like there's a vision, a real vision behind it.
Yeah.
And that's powerful. In terms of like revenue and whatnot, when people are paying for the classes, that's obviously one source, but is there another source like with merchandise?
We do a lot of retail. We have somebody that does our retail. It's pretty funny because her name's Danielle. We have 5 Danielles that work for us, so like they all have different nicknames. So she's D, and she does all of our retail. And literally now we have people that come to Grit that don't spin, and they'll come shop in there.
Wow. Huh.
And so it's
like,
is it all Grit?
It's not all Grit apparel. We carry other brands. There's some like a couple local brands like Out that's in CDM, and it's mostly female workout stuff. But
because that's a whole other component to the business.
Yeah, she does such a good job, and it's just that's money. Like if we can make our rent in retail, like that's just a no-brainer.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Are most of the cyclers or the riders, I guess, what's the gender makeup? Is it like half and half, or what would you say?
I would probably say
I'm asking for a friend, by the way.
Yeah. 75% women. And I would say age range probably like 25 to 40.
Well,
anytime a guy says they're not sure if they want to come, I'm like, really? Like
he's not going to Foxfire anymore.
You get locked in a room with 45 of Newport's hottest women. Like, you should walk out of there or something.
So let's go over price and like for the people listening to this who've never been to Grit and maybe never heard of Grit. What are some things that we can talk about in terms of getting people in the door?
Well, our packages range from $22 for a single class to $19 if you buy 20. Each month we usually do one special, like it'll be a one-day flash sale, usually getting you in around like $15, $16, $17 depending on how many are in the package. We give you everything. You get rental shoes, towels, all that stuff's provided by us. So there's an alkaline water machine there, so bring your own water bottle. You get water, all that kind of stuff. Like I said, it's really friendly. It's like all you have to do is get there. As soon as you're there, you'll feel like home and you'll feel like one of the members. It's one of the cool things about what we have. Our patios created so many groups of friends.
Yeah.
Before class, after class, like there's people that you would never think like this person would hang out with this person, but now they go out to eat after every class, or they had a Christmas party, and like it's only people that come to my class are having a Christmas party next Tuesday.
Wow.
Oh, that's
like
cool.
they sent out an invite to everybody that comes to the 5:30 classes on Monday and Wednesday, and we're all going out and doing Taco Tuesday.
That's really cool. Really building community.
That's what I was
Yeah.
gonna say. Do you guys get the community aspect of it? It's rad.
It's I don't know, it's mind blowing really. Like I said, it's like it doesn't make sense sometimes. So the 4:30 thing on Sunday, literally somebody posted yesterday that all 8 of my classes were sold out in 30 seconds. If you got on at 4:31, you're on the wait list for classes for the week.
Holy shit, that's
It
awesome.
is like it doesn't really make sense that a little studio in Costa Mesa could do something like that. So it's been
That's
it's
a
been
huge
really
success
rewarding,
story.
and that's what I
It's
like.
that people by people thing.
I,
you know?
Yeah,
I joke about it in class. I was like, you really know how to make me feel good about myself. Like, if I'm sad one day, I'm like, why am I sad? I'm so lucky that I got all these people that want to hang out with me and work out with me.
That's so cool, man. So is there an app, or do they go on the website?
It's go on the website. It's gritcycle.com. There's like our program that does the booking doesn't have a real app yet.
Okay, so
you
gritcycle.com,
there's a
you book.
shortcut that you can put on your iPhone to get there.
And then can you follow, are you guys on Instagram, Facebook?
We are on Instagram, Facebook. The Front Desk Girls are on Snapchat. It's the Gritty Babes on Snapchat. It's Grit Cycle on Instagram.
He pulls out his
I'm
phone.
like, I just took a Snapshot just now of you talking. I posted it online.
So are those just
I'm not
Grit
on
Cycle?
the Snapchat yet.
The
I'm
real
not quite up
JW.
with that yet.
Is the handle on Instagram just Grit Cycle?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, and then your location.
We're at 1731 Santa Ana Avenue, which is right off 17th Street behind Mikasa. Everybody knows where Mikasa
Yeah.
Pine Knot Sidecar are, right behind there.
Oh yeah, I know what it's at.
Where the all wood building, it looks
Yeah.
like a Burnham building, I
There's a
guess.
yoga
is
line
what
right
you
across
say.
the way, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With Yokerland. Well, I had 2 questions.
Yep.
The first one, what are some maybe past and present sacrifices personally that you've had to experience or that you had to do, or what have you had to sacrifice in getting the business up and running? And even still today, is there anything that you've had to give up, whether it's like not necessarily money related or just sleep, time, family time?
Obviously time is a big one. Grit's taken away from my time at my other business, but it hasn't been one of those things where I've been mad about it.
Right.
Like I finally found something that I really love and I really want to be there and I really want to do it. So I have good guys that run my other business and they take care of everything and do it all for me. So I don't need to be there. Like I could probably make it better by being there, but I've sacrificed that because I go to somewhere that I really love to be and love to be around people. And one thing that I think I lost in my time doing my Mercedes thing is the interaction with people. I'm actually doing a talk for Lululemon, the regional managers and stuff, about connection and having connection in your life and how it's part of success is being able to connect with people. And I think I lost that in that span. All you do is talk on the phone and try to sell things, and you're not necessarily working with like-minded people. That everybody's just trying to make money when you're selling parts. And like here, you're just trying to make people's lives better and make them happier.
Sure.
Like one of the biggest things when I'm in class, like every class, I say all I want is for you to walk out those doors better than you walked in. Like that's my number one goal. Whether it's stronger, fitter, whatever, as long as you leave better than you walked in, I've done what I was there for.
And then in turn, they do the same thing for the people they're taking classes with.
And that's
So,
the
like,
same
it just
thing.
starts-
The harder you work, the harder everybody works. Since we work together, you're not trying to beat the person next to you. You're not trying to go faster. We're trying to do something together.
Got it.
And that's that's why it's all levels. Really, it's the resistance and stuff. We don't do anything in class that's too hard. Like there's nothing that's impossible or like. For some people at first, it might be like, I'll never get that. Like it's way too fast, or that moves a little bit too hard, but like over time, everybody starts to get it, and then it's all about resistance and pushing yourself. Like there's nothing in the class that you can't do, but you can make it harder and harder on your own.
Do you ever get those alpha guys who just come in and what's up, bro?
Yeah,
got
there's a couple
leotards
big guys
on.
in there. We got one of my clients is actually. She works with NFL guys, so we've had a lot of NFL guys coming in the off season.
Oh, right.
And it's funny, like they can hardly fit on the bike. And so we got some old NFL guys. There's some people around here that come to work out, but most of those alpha guys wouldn't come into a spin room. But it's pretty funny because I joke about that a lot in class. Because I teach at 10:45, which nobody, it's literally 50 OC housewives.
Right.
And then the occasional guy mixed in there, and we have a couple couples that come together and do dates and stuff like that. But it's once guys get in there, I think they realize it's harder than they thought,
Sure.
and it's a lot more fun than they thought. But it's not one of those things like you'll see a big guy be like, "Oh, I want to go spin."
Yeah, I'm gonna spin, bro. Give my toe.
Second question, and maybe more important than the first, is what are the pros and cons of having dreadlocks?
Now they're really
there are no
long.
cons.
They're really, really long now, so they're heavy. I don't have to wash my hair.
That's a
often.
saving on
That
shampoo.
often.
I think you're selling out classes in 1 minute. It's time to start a metal band.
Yeah, exactly.
End of story.
Saving on shampoo. It's
This
I
a
got
little-
good dance moves. My voice isn't that good.
Cool, Matt. Hey, thanks so much for being on the show, Matt. We appreciate it. Again, it's Grit Cycle. You find them on Instagram, Grit Cycle, and the Gritty Babes on
I
Snapchat.
think it's just Gritty Babes.
Gritty Babes on Snapchat.
Can you spell that? Well, if you can't spell Gritty Babes, then yeah.
Thanks a lot, Matt.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks,
Matt.
Matt.
If you would like to be on the Prestige Living podcast or know someone that would be a great guest, go to www.prestigelivingpodcast.com. We'd love to